Hi, how's everyone? I hope I find you all well. Thank you for returning, and hello if you are new. I did not forget about you guys. I know I've been gone for about a week, but I took a break and I was arguing politics with people, so I'm back. And I wanted to get to a couple things that are going on in astrology. So this is going to be a little bit of a reading before we get to the cards. So get comfy. First, I wanted to address that we have entered a new lunar new year in the Chinese astrology, and this is the year of the wood snake. A little bit, just a little about the Chinese zodiac. There are 12 animals of importance, snake being the sixth of the 12, so the balance in the middle. Instead of one sign per month, each animal rules a whole year. So Chinese zodiac is a 12-year cycle. There are also 5 elements instead of the Western 4, with metal being the addition. Every element rules for 2 years. So last year was the year of the wood dragon. This year is the year of the wood snake. 26 through 27 will be the year of the fire horse, and 27 through 28 will be the fire goat, and then so on and so forth. Wood represents the growing of matter, expansion, strength, and flexibility. It's associated with generosity, cooperation, courage, and resiliency. Snake energy brings wisdom, transformation, calmness, and creativity. I believe this next year will force us to shed some very toxic ideals, things that we as a society are outgrowing. How we react to this transformation is up to us. Some will embrace it, some will accept it fearfully, and some will actively fight against it. It will happen regardless, but a snake that can't or won't release the old skin can die within it, blind, constricted, and starved. So, to the astrology for the next few days. Today is the 6th, I believe. Oh boy, what's the date today? Yeah, the 6th. Okay, so I'm on schedule. So everything has come out of retrograde as of now, except for Mars. Mars will linger in retrograde until about February 23rd, which is 5 days after the sun goes into Pisces. So there is so much going on in Pisces right now, and for the next month. I'll get into that more in another reading because I'm going to do the moon today. We are still tits deep in ongoing inner work, individually and as a collective. Venus has moved out of conjunction with Neptune in Pisces and has just now moved into Aries. This is fortunate energy though. Venus brings balance and diplomacy and justice, fairness and grace to a volatile, impulsive, aggressive fire sign that rules the infant ego. Remember, I said Venus rules the weighing of karma, while Saturn, as an aspect of death, distributes it, right? Well, Venus's job is done, and she's moved into Aries to work on the ego. Let me turn this brightness up a little bit. There we go. Now, the taskmaster Saturn is stepping forward and conjuncting with Neptune. So he's here to deliver the results of Venus's karma court proceedings. So let's look at the moon. Today, the first quarter moon is in Gemini, so it might manifest as a more logical, thoughtful approach to emotions, while adding a little care and sensitivity to our intellectual concerns. How we reconcile with new information and how we communicate our position to others. It moves into conjunction with Jupiter and is graced with optimism and generosity. Concerning more philosophical topics. These two in tandem move into a cooperative trine with Mercury, Gemini's ruler, that is in Aquarius right now, the sign of the rebellious, innovative humanitarian. On the 7th, tomorrow, the moon becomes part of a grand trine in the air signs, with Lilith at 24 degrees Libra and Mercury conjunct the sun at 18 and 19 degrees in Aquarius. This allows a moment of clarity. Free flow of communication, intellectual advances, perhaps new discoveries by way of technology, gaining new evidence, information, or insight. Grand trines are like open, flowing rivers of energy. In the data driven, truth seeking air signs, we have an opportunity to expand our knowledge and receive incoming new ideas. On the 8th, the moon steps home in Cancer and into a loose square with Venus in Aries. So some of the information acquired the day before is now going to be filtered through that infant ego of Aries. So there may be raw feelings, tension, hurt pride, or irritability. Venus is trying to remain diplomatic and peaceful in some volatile surroundings, and she holds her own pretty well. Aries is the home sign of her side piece and lover, and her presence can bring some finesse and equilibrium in that area. On the 9th, the moon moves into conjunction with Mars retrograde in Cancer. So this brings to mind this scene. Let me try to describe what I saw. The scene in which the usually volatile god of war and passion has been caught up in the hypnotic rhythm of the gentle waves of the shoreline of Cancer energy and has been lulled into a sleepy, powerless stupor. So try to imagine that. Try to imagine this big god of war who kind of was walking on the beach, with his shield and sword, and lo and behold, the waves calmed him, and now he's getting kind of sleepy, and he's sluggish and immobile. And now the sirens have bound him up on the beach, restraining his temper, hampering his impetuousness, pacifying his recklessness. The funny thing is, in this scene, Mars doesn't seem to mind. Cancer's sexy sirens have tried to reduce his impulses and calm his passion, and Mars seems to be a willing captive, thinking it all a funny, kinky game. This calm, dreamy state is actually beneficial for the moment for Mars energy, as the conjunction is trine with Saturn, the taskmaster in Pisces. So, Mars, the god of war and action, is not only lulled by the sirens on the shoreline of Cancer, but the god of karma is now coming out of the deep subconscious of Pisces to make us deal with some tough soul work. In this state, Mars is pliable, though, receptive, and less erratic. Think of that in between state of between sleep and awake. It seems like he's almost hypnotized. Like he's alert. He's not alert, but he's aware. He's not active. He's not asleep, but he's in this in between energy where he's receptive to I don't want to say suggestion, but he's just in a more receptive energy for this mental and spiritual downloads that are coming in. I hope I described that well. Where was I? Deep subconscious to make us deal with some soul work. In this state, Mars feels pliable, receptive, and less erratic. So, some in the collective may find themselves less impertinent, more receptive to some harsh truths. But he won't stay long. He won't stay that way for long. Aquarius may rule humanitarian ideas, but Pisces makes us reconcile with our place in the collective as connected spiritual family. Saturn and Neptune are making us come to terms with how we've severed that connection and mistreated other souls. So now we must face the pain we caused in others by facing the pain in ourselves. This feeds Mars's fire, which will continue to smolder for the next few weeks. Mars is the warrior and does love a good fight, but fights most nobly when it's for a worthy cause. Neptune and Saturn are showing up where deep injustice and spiritual disconnect has occurred. So we will be shown who we've neglected, betrayed, or abandoned. In this current dream state in Cancer, we, as Mars energy, may endure unforgiving dreams and realizations, psychic observations that will fuel our sense of conflict. But when Mars awakens, February 23rd, when Mars awakens and goes direct, that fire will come back online. Some in the collective who received the spiritual uploads during the downtime will awaken with new vigor, purpose, and drive, called back into the fray of an altruistic crusade to right wrongs, address the injustices, and fight again for those souls that were allowed to fall. But as always, the noble warrior will have to face the energy of those in the collective who chose instead to stand against him. So I hope that made sense. Um, I do get a lot of information in pictures, and it's kind of hard to describe what I'm seeing, but I hope that with the sirens on the shoreline and Mars kind of tied up, I saw him like tied up in seaweed because they were singing to him, and he thought it was kind of like a kinky game with the sirens wanting to take advantage of him, but it ended up just kind of making him very susceptible to new information, and that was in his resting state. But I was hearing how Saturn came forward and was showing him all the injustices that had been done while he was asleep, and how now with Mars in the next couple weeks getting ready to go direct again in Cancer, which is the sign of the mother, and nurturing and watching out for your people. He is getting angrier and angrier, and I feel like this will be a righteous anger. And when Mars goes back direct, we're going to finally come out of this feeling of powerlessness, okay, in the collective. So hopefully it swings our way. Hopefully there's more people that have received the spiritual downloads than not. And we'll see how that plays out in a couple weeks when Mars goes direct. I will be doing a bit more with Pisces because as the alignment comes closer, there's going to be this big alignment in the heavens where they're making this big deal where all the planets are lined up in the sky. And that's most of them is going to be kind of clustered in Pisces, which is that deep soul work that we're going to be looking at. And it's really going to be very busy in there. There's going to be about 4 aspects in Pisces, and for such a soft energy that Pisces is, it might be kind of a little bit harsh on our psyches in the next couple weeks. But like I said, um, right around that time is when Mars comes back online with that renewed vigor after seeing the vignettes in his head of what Saturn has shown him has been going on in his absence. I think he's going to come back roaring for a fight, and it's going to be a fight to right the wrongs that have been done to in Cancer's realm, which is the taking care of people, and since she's ruled by the moon, it's facing what's underneath our ego. Okay, I hope that made sense. So we're gonna get to the tarot. I'm doing it just a little bit differently. They gave me a download on how to change up the spread a little bit. So remember, not all messages will resonate for every person. So leave what doesn't resonate now, but keep it in mind because it might make sense at a later time. You are all at different points in the timeline. Like I say, I can read the script, but I cannot tell you which character you all individually play or where you choose to stand on the stage, whether you're involved or you're observing. I can only read the energies. So keep that in mind as we go. So how I've adjusted it this little bit is I'm still using the same decks. I'm still using the First Light Tarot, the Gilded by Ciro Marchetti. Um, I've got the Celtic Lenormand, and we may grab another one for um, a little bit later. But what I've done is I've taken the First Light Tarot on the top here because it's like cosmic energy. This is going to be as above. Okay, this is going to be the energy that the divine is working with. Then with the Celtic Lenormand, because it's so earthy, I'm I have it down here as this as above and so below. Okay. No, it's not gonna always match, but I was getting the feeling that we could get a little bit of insight on how the divine is moving, and then how we on Earth are moving, and on the in between is how we're trying to function in the energy. Okay. So for the top row, for as above, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, attraction, and the sun. So the Wheel of Fortune is the constant spinning of divine timing. It's fate, change, and fortune. So when the wheel is up, our fortune is good. When the wheel is in reverse, then our karma comes for us. Okay, we are dealt what we earned. Okay, and that kind of goes along with what I was saying, how Venus came through and weighed on her scales of justice all the deeds, and now she has tallied the verdict. But now that Saturn is coming in, that Saturn energy is going to deal the verdicts, deal the sentences. Okay, he deals the karma. He is the king of hard work, because soul work will release us from the cycles of karma. And what are the cycles of karma but the Wheel of Fortune? Next to that, we have attraction. What are we manifesting? It's not only what we are trying to accomplish on earth, but what our actions are drawing towards us from the divine. Next to that, we have the sun, and sun energy is very, like the ego. It's what is illuminated, but it's not always the truth. Now, a lot of people, when they see the sun, they see clarity and the truth. But for me, the sun illuminates what we choose to set in it. Okay, and then the moon shows what we keep hidden underneath the ego. So it's like the mask we put on, the mask we show, the makeup we show. I mean, not literally, but like the the covering we put forth and choose to represent us in the light. All right. It's not always the truth, but it's illuminating what we show. That to me is sun energy. Along with that, it's also growth and warmth and freedom and independence and all those good things, right? So we have the Wheel of Fortune spinning, we've got what we're attracting, and we have the sun here, which is freedom. If we just read it that way, fate or fate and fortune manifesting freedom, right? So this is what the divine is trying to work for our favor, because the divine will always work for towards our betterment. But like children, sometimes we get in our own way with ego, with prejudice, with stubbornness, things like that. But the divine energy is always for our pure good, for our soul's development, for release, for freedom, for evolution and ascension. Okay? So as below, here we've got from the Celtic Lenormand the owls. Okay, three birds. It's deep perception. I give this to Pisces energy. Pisces, the other water signs also Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Um, Deep perception, keen observation, sensitivity, and messages from the higher self. This could be what's coming through in our dreams, downloads, snap intuition, insight, epiphanies, things like that. Next to that, we've got the garden. And the garden, so we've got like one card that's very high vibration, very spiritual, very tapped in, moon energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Scorpio the transformer, the dissector, um, the analyzer also, but very, very emotional. I tend to give Scorpio honorary fire energy too. I don't know why, but then there's also air energy in there because they're extremely perceptive, almost to the almost to psychic ability, and maybe that's the water element within them. So we've got one spiritual card and then like two cards that have to do with home and family. So we've got the garden, and the garden represents community and sharing and hospitality. It's gathering together, celebrating, feasting, festive banquets, fun. This is celebrating um, abundance with others, okay? And then we've got the lilies, and the lilies is family again. It's harmony and peace and tradition. It's support and um, it's family bonds. That it's kind of difficult for me with this card because to me lilies always represent death. So to me this is like an ending, but it's not calla lilies. They're like little field lilies or forest lilies or whatever. And in this deck they represent family harmony. So I mean, we've got the beautiful owls here bringing in intuitive messages, and then the garden, intuitive messages about community and sharing and hospitality. Now that can be expanded into what we're going through uh, in the collective as a society right now. Community. Who is our community? Who do we include in that community? Who do we make room for at the banquets? Who do we exclude? Who do we share with? Who do we extend hospitality to? Things like that. And here with the lilies, we have family harmony and peace and tradition and support. So maybe there are going to be some work down here that has to do with our intuition about who we accept as at the banquet. Okay? Now, in the middle, oh, did we do the bottoms? I'll do the bottoms later. We've got the Hermit, the Three of Wands in reverse, and the Hangman in reverse. So we've got Virgo energy, Pisces energy. The Sun does not have a designation in this deck, but we sometimes give that to Leo. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. The Hangman again, Pisces energy, this time in the upright power, and the Hermit under that again. So look, um, we've got a lot of Earth energy here too. We've got the Hermit twice. We've got Pisces here as the Hangman twice. Virgo and Pisces together make a balance on the zodiac. We've got an earth sign and a water sign. Virgo goes within to gain a higher perspective, but the hanged man goes within to gain inner perspective. Okay. Hermit energy here underneath the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, it's what I heard was deep contemplation about our fate. Okay, deep contemplation about our fate. And if we add onto that the owls here, we are shining the light. See how the hermit shines his lantern? That's the lantern, the light of the higher self, the inner self. When we connect with the higher self, that light is technically, ugh, sorry about my stuttering. The light in the lantern, which represents our higher self, is the on switch for the connection back to the divine. And when we have here the owls, it says messages from our higher self. So, with this wheel of fortune spinning and our fortunes and fate hanging in the balance, we have gone into hermit energy, where we are contemplating our space in space. Look at, he's in space. He's high on a mountain, looking over everything. That's the inner mind, because Virgos are very internally um, uh, the mental energy. But Virgo to me is an honorary air sign because their ruler is Gemini. I almost said Gemini. Their ruler is Gemini, who co. Oh, sorry. Like I said, I get a lot of images and I do stutter. Plus, I've been out of. I'm kind of rusty because I've had a week-long break. Let me get back to it. The Hermit Virgo is an honorary air sign because its ruler, Mercury, co rules Gemini. So, in Gemini energy is mental processes and how you position yourself within the information that it's all new to you. So, how you position yourself as you process new information. But Virgo, being an earth sign, sometimes gets bogged down in mental like a borehole, like it just keeps burrowing and burrowing and burrowing with this new information. That's hermit energy, where it kind of it's not quite exile, but it's contemplation. Okay, contemplation that we don't often share with others. Virgos are kind of like that. Their mind is like a trap. They keep themselves pretty mentally to themselves because they are contemplating the messages coming into the higher self, especially with the moon in Cancer or going through Cancer, Mars retrograde in Cancer. Um, so some may be receiving downloads and dreams that they just really don't know how to process. So there's a lot of self consideration going on here. For the attraction card, the manifestation, this also brings to mind for me a, a the sense of vibration, higher vibration. Think of a tuning fork. The lower vibration will attract things of a lower vibration. Higher vibration, you will not vibe. It literally, you will not vibe with anything lower than in a lower vibration than you. So if you can tap into that higher self and vibe higher, get a more broad outlook on things. You have to mix in the practical with the spiritual. And that's the key to that dynamic between Virgo and Pisces. We have the hermit here on one end and the hangman on the other. That's Virgo and Pisces, the practical with the spiritual and balancing the two. Here in the middle, we've got attraction and manifestation. On top of that, we've got the Three of Wands in reverse. The Three of Wands is one after the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is choosing the direction, and the Three of Wands is now embarking on that journey. But now we are hemmed up a little bit because the Three of Wands is in reverse. There may be, um, like they told me balking. It's a baseball term where you're in the middle of the wind up and then something stutters your motion and you kind of balk a little bit. If there's a stumble here, there's questioning, there may be doubt. I heard fire energy, so this is action. This could be Aries energy. Let's see, the aces are always the divine, so then 2, 3, and 4 I give to Aries. So Yeah, Three of Wands. There is an arrest of progress. I heard arresting of progress. Someone doesn't want to get on the boat because they fear that what they are bringing onto themselves may be harsh. So they don't want to proceed. On top of that, we've got the garden. And again, this is that feeling of community and sharing. It's like they're trying to manifest and attract abundance, but they're stalling getting on with it. Because there's, like I said, something about who they have to share it with. That's terrible. That's unfortunate. It's like they attracted the garden to them. They attracted the bounty and the banquet, but now they don't want to get on it because they don't want to share. It's like they don't even want to celebrate because they don't want to celebrate with everyone. And then we have here the sun. That's that independence and free-spirited energy, but it's also the ego. And on top of that, we've got the hangman in reverse. So they're coming out of whatever they were contemplating about. They're not hemmed up anymore, I heard. Oh, so maybe this is like past, present, future? That could be. Now remember, I don't know if anybody out there is a Doctor Who fan. I'm definitely a huge Doctor Who nerd. And one thing that is drilled into you is that time is not linear. So you may be in different points in this timeline here. Wheel of Fortune is dealing that karma, attraction. You're attracting abundance, but not wanting to share. And then illumination, clarity, independence, freedom, and the ego. And on top of that, with that hangman in reverse, that Pisces energy coming out of being hemmed up. You can see the thing about the hangman is they go in suspension willingly. Okay? They are suspended willingly. The original symbolism for this was an acrobat who is spinning on the tightrope, and when they're in the upside down like that, it's a willing position, and in that position, in that moment, they are like in another realm in their mind. Like you kind of have to be in that hypnotic state when you're doing things like that, because you got to concentrate on what you're doing. Right now, this is somebody coming out of that self-suspension. Here, the hermit's going up the mountain, and the hangman reverse is coming down from it. And on top of that, with the Celtic Lenormand, we have the lilies. Again, family, harmony, peace, and tradition. So this is wonderful. I like that because I was kind of disappointed with that middle position here. They're trying to give me something else about this, though. Oh, they're reminding me that this garden card came out reversed when I dropped it. But usually with the Celtic Lenormand, I don't have reversals. But that one I remember came out very firmly in the reverse. So I think they want me to keep it like this. Yeah, because now the message is you're attracting abundance, but if you don't accept it, you're going to lose it. Yeah. And now here with the sun, that clarity of coming out of the hangman energy, and embracing that family harmony, peace, and tradition, that support. I like that, and I hope I'm explaining that well. So there's a going inward and receiving information from on high, from the divine, from our higher selves, of what? Of how to, okay, hang on. I heard the divine, oh, okay. They're reminding me that that top layer is divine energy. So we are not manifesting or attracting anything. The divine is moving the wheel so that we can change our vibration. But Three of Wands in reverse, some don't want to get on the boat. And the ones that don't want to get on the boat are throwing everything in the reverse with this garden card. Remember, the garden is community and sharing and hospitality and abundance. Okay? So the ones here that don't want to get on the boat, that don't want to vibe in the vibration that the divine is trying to retune us to, the ones that are refusing to proceed, are actually denying their own banquet. So some of us have come to the sun energy here, that clarity, the freedom from this cycle. And we are coming out of the hanged man energy. We are now coming back into clarity. Think of hanged man energy as someone sleeping in a dream. You go to sleep voluntarily, usually, hopefully, and that to me is that psychic Piscean hanged man energy. It's sleep. And in one of my other decks, the hanged man is represented by Sleeping Beauty. And in that dream state, you can reconnect with your higher self. So now that like I heard, the sun is dawning, the day has come, and they're rousing from that psychic slumber and are now in a in an energy of contemplating family, harmony, peace, and tradition. Now, tradition is interesting because um, now we get to the bottoms of the deck. The bottom of the deck for the first light tarot is the Hierophant. Taurus energy, he deals with tradition. Unfortunately, a lot of times with Taurus, they are absolutely the stubborn bulls of the zodiac. With Taurus energy, you often hear or feel or perceive it is done this way because this is the way I'm comfortable doing it. And the reason I'm comfortable doing it is because this is the way it's always been done. That's what I get from Taurus energy. They're also traditional spiritually. So there may be some dogma here. There may be some who are stuck a little bit in old religious strictures, restrictions, things like that, because it's always been taught that way. Hierophant energy is also learning. It's wisdom. It's mentoring. It's it's like a lower vibration of Saturn is the teacher. It's a teacher energy, but it's the teacher of long held traditions. And what do they say about tradition? But it's peer pressure from the dead. Okay, we can always make new traditions, and we can function in new guidelines. Okay, that Hierophant energy, with the lilies here being tradition and support, and then the very next card here with the bottom of the first light tarot being the Hierophant, Taurus energy. But they're oh, I also heard I I also heard let me see if I can put this into words. I do it this way. Say it again. It's something about their comfort level. Not just emotionally and psychologically, but physically. Their physical environment, their comfort level. They don't want to do anything against what works because it may upheave their comfort zone. That's what I was trying to get to. Oof. Okay, underneath that, we have the Hanged Man again, this time in the upright. Um, in this deck, in this deck, it says it's the last look underneath. So to me, it feels like the moments right before you're gonna wake up. It's right at that time where you're perceiving that you're waking up. Okay, you were in this really weird dream and now things look different, things feel different, you feel yourself coming back online, and you actually think to yourself, damn, I'm waking up, or okay, now I'm waking up, and then you come back to consciousness, right? It's the last look underneath before you break the surface. This is surrender and exploring deep perspective. It's a transition point, a turning point, and decision making. Underneath that, you've got power. This is understanding reality in solitude. This is like that hermit energy. In your solitude, you are trying to understand your reality. But it also says know your power. Know your power. But no, this gives me, oh, that's interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Know your power and your place. That's the key to this card. Power. Know your power and your place. Okay? And I was going to say that this brings feelings of the strength card, because the strength card is your strength is finding the balance between peace and power. Underneath the power card, you have, again, hermit energy, the hermit card. Truth, guidance, facts, and wisdom. Virgo energy, here you are still in that contemplation phase. But under that, again, the strength card. So what I was saying about power, know your power and your place. Now we have strength, which is finding peace and power, balancing peace and power. The reason I came to that is because traditionally on the card of strength, there is the Empress and the Lion. I didn't know that was supposed to be the Empress from the card on the strength card. I always thought it was an angel or just a divine feminine energy, and it is, but it is the Empress off her throne trying to wrestle the ego. And the ego, it's resisting, but it always reminded me of somebody trying to get food out of their pet's mouth. Like she is trying to wrestle the lion, yelling at him, what is in your mouth? Why do you have that? You're not supposed to have that. Put that down. That's going to hurt you. It's not for you. It's not good for you. Why are you hanging on to that? And of course, the ego says, because I want it. And the Empress is trying to take the ego and balance it with some peace. Her peace. She is peace. He is power. And the key to strength is both. So you have to reconcile. Be power. How did I put it? Find power in your peace and be peaceful in your power. Okay. What do they want me to do next? Do I want any clarity? No, they say I can go on to the ancestor oracle messages. So I kind of like this new setup. I think I'm going to keep it for a little while. Let's see. Oh, it is still long. 42 minutes I think we're at. I'll keep it for a while. I do like this. I hope this is resonating. I hope the messages are reaching you for your highest good. If you are vibing with my content, please take a moment to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, share my video. It helps the algorithm get my content seen. In the description, you'll find my email and donation links. I am available for personal readings and birth chart inquiries. And for any small donation, I would love to do you a 3-card spread as a thank you privately. We can do it by email, or I could do a video like this where only you get the link. Email, Venmo, and Cash App are in my description. I appreciate any and all feedback, signal boost, or donation. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. So let's get an Ancestor Oracle. Just one, please. Ancestor Oracle, thank you for the collective for the next few days. We've got a lot of divine lessons being dealt right now. Please give us some insights. I can't do 3. Just give me 1, please. 1, and then we'll get some theme cards. 1 more, please, besides Star Ancestor. Star Ancestor card is always weird for me because it feels like those people who like the alien stories, like some of us are star seeds or whatever. That always feels like that energy. So we have Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul, and Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. So let's do Star Ancestor. There we go. It says follow the voice of your soul. It says heed the messages coming directly from your soul. So that has to do with the owl energy and the hermit. The owl is receiving messages from the higher self, and the hermit is holding the light of the higher self in the lantern, which connects us back to the divine. It says there is a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only are you born on purpose, but you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information and inspiration that has been coming to you recently is not new information, but memories. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. You are being drawn towards a road that will not only light you up, but also help you light up your corner of the world, the community, the family, who you accept at the table. It says continue following the cosmic guidance that is coming your way. So now we have Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. Hang on 1 second. I hate ads. I'm not going to choose this channel again. I hate being distracted by having to skip ads on my music. It says take action and do what you know you need to do. There's an old pattern rising up in you now, and it's time to deal with it. Now, that's that energy of Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, and all that convergence going on in Pisces, those old cycles. Cancer energy is cycles. Pisces energy is a deeper connection to our soul and the collective. There are old cycles here. We got Wheel of Fortune spinning. That's bringing around on the wheel. There are old patterns rising up in you, and it's time to deal with it and release it for good. Didn't I say earlier how in order to release ourselves from karma, we have to pass that test? We have to let it go and get off of the wheel, right? You're being encouraged to love and respect yourself enough to take the steps that you know you need to take to move closer to where you'd like to be. You already know the answers. You know what you need to do. You may have been using delaying tactics, 3 of Wands in reverse, not getting on the boat, not taking the journey, delaying tactics, or holding back. But now you're being guided to take action. Action requires courage. What did I say about the Strength card and the power? But your angels and guides are bringing you the courage to move forward. So take just one step. That's the Pisces hangman energy coming down off of being suspended. Take one step. When you do, the next one will be presented to you. When I get that message, I always think of the scene in I don't know if anyone's seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the best one, number 3, the one that he's in with Sean Connery. It was a walk of faith, and he was standing on this precipice over a gorge where he had to step off of it, and he had to step it with faith. And the whole thing was that he did not have religious faith. His father did, but he didn't. He relied on facts and evidence and things he could see. But this required him to step off of this cliff in faith. What he finally experienced was, once he stepped off, he stepped onto a bridge that he couldn't see before. So that's that leap of faith, that take that one step and your path will be revealed once you take it. But here people are in that 3 of Wands in reverse energy, where they don't even want to take that step forward. And only when you choose to take that step forward will the next step be revealed. And we're going to get some final clarity here. We get some final little insights, some advice, and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, Jupiter energy. Okay, I got to look up where Jupiter is. But it's divine authority, protection, luck, and prosperity. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius, the good time boy. He comes through, and you can imagine a sovereign or king coming through, just throwing gold coins at his people, reveling in their worship and approval. He rules the centaurs, which just love to party because they love joy. They like to be joyful. But in reverse, it could be an ego. He could be sneaky too. Oh, we got the wheel. What goes around comes around. Yeah. They're saying if you don't take this step in your development, you're going to have to revisit these lessons. That's that Saturn energy. Saturn bringing around the karma. He's the teacher, the taskmaster. If you don't learn your lesson, you flunk, and you have to take that class again. 333. The angels and spirit are near you. Quote, we hear you. Maybe just a couple more, please. It's too many. Just get a couple more. Oh, messages. I didn't see that one. 8 of Wands. Okay. Medicating. Somebody's self-medicating. Also, this, I never got this before until recently. Don't neglect your medication. Don't neglect your meds. And then we've got Clover. Luck. That Jupiter energy. There's a little bit of luck coming in. That's good. Clover energy is luck and lightheartedness. It says humor, happy coincidences, small joys, right place, right time. It's like the parking spot angel. Right place, right time, Wheel of Fortune, that's divine timing. Jupiter energy, the god of luck and blessings. We have messages here. 8 of Wands, communication. Look for a letter or information, news, open correspondence, and conversation. I know we talked about this in the reading, how there's going to be an opportunity to process new information. Okay. Medicating, here we go. It could be good or bad, right? But they also tell me do not neglect medication. Okay? Don't neglect your mental health. Don't neglect your physical health. It's not just mental health medication. It's heart medication. It's diet, all those kinds of things. And I know with what's going on right now, things are very tentative and very up in the air, very in the unknown when it comes to things like that. So maybe this is a heads up to go ahead and make those doctor's appointments as well. Excuse me, hiccups. Go ahead and make those doctor's appointments. Make sure all your meds are straight. Okay, preparedness, planning ahead, things like that. The wheel, what goes around comes around. Wheel of Fortune energy here. The key, I love this. Once closed doors may now be opened. You have the answers. That's what Medicine Mother was saying. You know what to do. You've got the answers. You have the key to stepping forward. And 333, angels and spirit are near you now. We hear you. So that's the messages I'm getting for the next few days. Thank you so much for sticking with me until I see you again soon in the next couple days. Okay, thanks. Bye.